Hi, welcome to Jamie's Product Reviews. I'm going to look at two special figures, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection She-Ra, and He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection Hordak. Yeah, She-Ra, the most powerful woman in the universe, and the sister of He-Man, and she fights for what's right on Etheria. And Hordak, the ruthless leader of the Evil Horde. He is Shiva's arch nemesis and ruler of Etheria, and Skeletor's former mentor. The other She-Ra that I have is based on the vintage toy look from the original Princess of Power line back in the 80s. And the other Hordak I have is based on the original look from the vintage He-Man and the Masters of the Universe line. But these looks are based off their appearance in the old Filmation She-Ra cartoon. I've got both these packages here, but this one is already open because apparently whoever was responsible decided to, for some reason, to open up my package for me. But thankfully it wasn't ransacked or anything. As far as I can tell, all the accessories are still there, and nothing's been damaged or anything. But still, I'm getting real tired of getting action figures where things are opened or messed up or stolen or all those things. But anyway, let's get these two out of their packages and let's give these two a review. Sorry about the awkward looking placement of these figures, but I had a very, very hard time standing them up, especially Hordak with his flipper feet. But anyway, here they are unboxed. As you can see, they look just like they did in the Filmation cartoon. She-Ra, the other version had a headdress that was removable, and you can put it either one way or the other. This headdress is just molded on there. It's not going anywhere, and her hair is solid. And let's talk about the articulation. Her left, right, up, and down. Her arms move out, up, down, and her elbows bend, and she swivels at the wrist. And she twists at the waist, and her legs move up and down. She bends at the knees, and she twists as she rocks back and forth on the ankle. And Hordak's pretty much the same way, except his head is inside this little hood piece right here. The hood piece does not move. Only the head, only his white skull-faced head moves. It's not hampered too much. It's not hampered too much, and the arms move out like this. He's got this armor piece, and I do believe his chest plate is removable, but I'm not going to do it on the video. And She-Ra comes with two accessories. One, of course, is her sword of protection. There's the one thing that distinguishes her sword from He-Man's sword of power is that it has this gem in the center, and sometimes the sorceress appears in it when she communicates with the sorceress. So You just stick it in her right hand if it'll go. Is this going to be difficult too? Because if I remember right, I had a difficult time with Tila and her sword. Oh, maybe not. All right. For the honor of Grayskull. And another accessory she comes with is her shield. The vintage toy version of She-Ra. She never had her sword and her shield shown simultaneously because she had this power in the cartoon where she would transform her sword into many other objects like ropes or flame or what the most commonly used item to turn her sword into was of course her shield. She would say sword to shield, and her sword would transform into his shield. But when I know a lot of you probably like to display her with her sword and her shield at once, even though that's not how it worked in the cartoon. But here she is here with her sword and her shield as if they were two separate weapons. One thing that's disappointing about Hordak is that he didn't come with any accessories to help him in battle. The vintage version came with that horde, that shield that was shaped like a horde symbol, and also that crossbow that a lot of the horde members came with, which didn't mean much to me. Because you never saw any of the horde members with crossbows in the cartoon. And I always thought those things were useless anyway. But yeah, Hordak, he doesn't come with anything. Not even like a separate arm attachment where he can transform his arm into like cannons, or maybe an extra figure where he can be like a rocket. He does come with one thing though. It's this time stopper device. If you remember the old Loki Lends a Hand episode where Hordak sets off this time-stopping device that stops all time in the Whispering Woods. And Loki, who as you know is the cute little creature who hides in every episode, and you have to find him, and then he appears at the end to give us a little lesson and show us where he hid. But in this episode, he was actually part of it, because he was trying to find a place to hide only to find the time had stopped. And of course, that was when Light Hope summoned Loki, and he told him of He-Man and She-Ra's secret, and he ended up going to Eternia to get Prince Adam to help and to change into He-Man, and he was able to free a door from the time stop device with the help of their two swords. She was able to transform into She-Ra, and they were able to get rid of the time stop device. But anyway, here it is right here. What you can do is you can just put it it's not too heavy. It's just a plastic little thing. It's plastic. You just stick it in Hordak's device, and you can threaten anyone in the Whispering Woods. Hey, you mess with me, I'll stop time, and you'll all be finished. All right, let's do a little comparison. On the left is the old vintage style version of She-Ra. On the right is the Filmation style version of her. There are some big differences. On the vintage version, her headdress is removable. You can just stick it on like this or like this, whichever you prefer. This look was based on the old Princess of Power vintage line that was marketed toward girls back in the 80s. They both, of course, had their swords of protection. The yellow one here is the one that came with the vintage style version. It's much different. And of course, this is the one that's more Filmation accurate, that came with the Filmation style version of She-Ra. And of course, their shields. This is the one that was based on the vintage line, of course, because a lot of the Princess of Power figures back then came with the same style of shield. And She-Ra was no exception. And of course, this one is the one that's more Filmation based. All right, now let's compare the two Hordaks. The one over here is based on the version that came with the He-Man Vintage line. And this one is the one as he appeared in the Filmation, is the look he had in the Filmation cartoon, the She-Ra Filmation cartoon. And very, very substantial differences between the two. I mean, the vintage style Hordak has gray skin and a larger skull face, while the one on the right has the blue skin tone with a smaller skull face. And of course, the two weapons that came with the vintage style Hordak, of course, was his shield shaped like the Horde symbol, and of course the crossbow, even as underwhelming as this feature was. Filmation Hordak coming with this time stopper device. So there you have it. Here's a look at both versions of each figure. Here they are, She-Ra and her arch enemy Hordak, and I'll see you at next review. Bye bye.